Hello, welcome back to A Course in Miracles. I'm Tomas Garza. And, well, how's it feel to be a miracle worker? Yeah, you. Good? Excellent. So let's continue along the path that we're on right now, and that's the workbook for students. Very interesting discussion that we have today. And of course, I do say that about every single one of these discussions, of course. But today is really, really interesting because we're going to be talking about living our own lives, so to speak. Our own. Those are terms. They're words that we use, words being just symbols after all. So when I say our own lives, you'll see in just a moment what I mean. It doesn't mean your ego self's own private castle, right? Their own private Versailles, their own private royal garden with servants and elaborate ballrooms and free sex with everyone that walks in the door. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is lesson 317. I follow in the way appointed me. We're talking about fulfilling our role here in the world. I follow in the way appointed me. So what is our task collectively, first of all? What is our task? What is our job? What are we here to do? Well, you could say a number of things, right? And if you ask that question of yourself and you say, well, I don't really know, that's an honest answer. Well, we're here to wake up. Just like that. We're here to forgive. We're here to extend love. We're here to realize the truth of who we really are. This world that we see, that we experience with our six senses and everything else, is simply a laboratory. It's an illusory laboratory, a living, breathing workshop, so to speak. It's a giant seminar in forgiveness and awakening. Our job is to accept atonement for ourselves. This is straight from A Course in Miracles, of course, right? Our job is to accept atonement for ourselves. This is our function. What's atonement? Healing. Healing. Just that. It's the same. Our job is to accept healing for ourselves. What do we then do? We offer it. We demonstrate it. How? We forgive. Healing operates on the level of the mind. The body may or may not accompany the healing. In other words, if you have an ache in your joints, that may or may not get better. If your lower back hurts, that may or may not improve. Whether it does or does not is, in fact, not the point at all. Healing takes place on the level of the mind, and the body follows that decision, choice. The body follows that. This is very important that we understand this, because it is something that we resist like hell, isn't it? We are taught, we're conditioned, we're taught, we're indoctrinated. I mean, really, we're indoctrinated that we're a body of flesh and blood and bone, 80% water. This is us. And that's it. Only we know in our heart of hearts that that's not it. We're attracted to, we're pulled to, we're called to spirituality. We're called to spiritual pursuits because we know, we fucking know, Yeah, that's not all that there is. I mean, we really, deep down, gut level, on a level that we can't even articulate, and which is great because it's beyond words anyway. There's a level that drives us on to this. I mean, why? Why watch this, right? Why are you practicing spirituality in whatever form that takes for you? Why? Because you know deep down, we all know deep down that there's more to it than just this. And getting this thing's needs met. So when we say we follow in the way appointed us, we accept atonement for ourselves. We accept healing for ourselves. How do we demonstrate that we know it? Well, we offer it. Forgiveness is how we show people. It's how we show everyone else in the world that doubts all of this, that we, in fact, are not a body, that we are spirit, okay? That we are the Son of God. What else? What else would we be? Nothing less than that is worthy of any single one of us at all. If you ever doubt that, which is fine if you do, happens on the path, right? If you do, repeat that to yourself. Nothing less than that is worthy of you, Son of God, all of us. So, here in the world, in what Buddhists and people in Eastern philosophies refer to as relative truth, in other words, the so-called truth, it's not truth, but the laws, the physical laws, Newtonian physical laws, right? The structures, for lack of a better word, that seem to govern this world, right? Relative truth, where we're all running around apparently in different bodies, in different 80% water casings. It's not you, Son of God, right? In this world where we appear to be having this experience, something really important is worth talking about here. When we say that I follow in the way appointed me, there is a script, so to speak. There is a plan. There is a plan for you and only you. Only you can reach certain people. There is a role within the dream, mind you, that's highly individualized, even though there are no individuals, right? Here in the dream, there is a function that only you can play. Yes, you must accept atonement, healing for yourself and offer it. But there are ways here in the world set up for you to flow into, for you to succeed in, for you to take concrete, decisive, precise, and highly effective action in. You and only you. There are people that only you can reach. There is an approach that is designed for you. It's not the approach that's designed for me or for your spouse or for your neighbor. It's designed for you. Follow in the way appointed you. You may have some inclination as to what this is, and you may not. And if you don't, ask. That's what we do, isn't it? We ask. We ask our internal teacher, the Holy Spirit, if you're following A Course in Miracles, could be another guide or guides, could be Jesus, right? Could be an angel, could be a saint, depending on the part of the world that you're on. It could be your lama or your root guru. Ask. If you're not sure, ask. It's a very powerful expression. I follow in the way appointed me. It's very powerful. So when you do it, what will you notice? Flow, synchronicity and flow, and effortlessness and ease at which things just seem to happen for you, for other people, by themselves. That is because you are out of your own way. You're no longer resisting yourself. In other words, you're no longer resisting yourself with a little s, right? You're doing what you're here to do. And you're no longer resisting yourself, capital S. You're no longer resisting the will of God. In that state are all things accomplished. All that you need to do is follow in the way appointed you. If you don't know what that is in the world, ask, and you will be shown. Ultimately, it's accepting healing for yourself. It's accepting atonement for yourself. So ask, and you will be given. When you follow in the way appointed you, you will have gotten out of your own way. Your ego, in other words, will no longer obstruct the will of God. Remember, the ego does not exist. Our job here, as we follow in the way appointed us by accepting atonement, by accepting correction and healing for ourselves at the level of the mind, of course, we set that artificial construct aside. And what is there when that's set aside? Everything that is the will of God, which I know you know is your will too. Thank you so much for joining.